So welcome. This is going to be, and this time I made it a quick live, probably 20 minutes, and that's about it. I want to talk to you about exhaustion, ascension, action. We're going to be talking about that. People are frozen in fear. You do not want to be frozen in fear. You want to be activated into action. People have been waiting since 2012 to drop their bodies, doing absolutely nothing with their lives. Just, automatic pilot, getting up, getting dressed, going to work, having a couple moments of nectar here and there, going back to sleep and starting all over again. Wash and repeat, wash and repeat. And not doing anything. I don't understand this concept that, and yet I should actually. Because when a star seed is made aware of their origin through flashes of memory, through fragments of recall, through being aligned with certain things that feel so right, and the homesickness digs its claws deeper and deeper into the heart chakra, it creates a melancholy and then a spiritual depression. And again, I am doing this live because I saw comments on a YouTube on Galactic Council from the Pleiades, a message of ascension, that many of you won't be there. That was the message, basically. I'm paraphrasing, obviously, but that was the essence. And I always look at the comments, because I'm not so much interested in the message, though, sure, of course. I'm more interested in how people respond to messages. And what I saw was despair. Waiting to die, waiting to drop their bodies, not to be here anymore. And many of us have gone through multiple levels of dark night of the soul. Some of us started at the age of 6 and 8 years old. I'm not kidding. This is very common in the starseed story that we all share. Levels of dark night of the soul. Some of us started at the age of 6 and 8 years old. I'm not kidding. This is very common in the starseed story that we all share. That we are being asked to do something energetically, and we are being asked to choose what we need to do. I just posted something about ascension and growth, and it never occurred to me that people actually think that when you kumbaya, when you do like your meditations and your chakra work, that I don't know where people are at in their head. I'm not trying to judge anyone. I'm just telling you what I'm finding, which is shocking to me, is that people actually think that that's going to make you happy, give you the multi-million-dollar home, you're going to have private jets, Rolex watches, and life will be good. That's not why we're here. This is not why we're here. Do you understand? The excavation. Have you ever seen an excavation? They have little brushes, little spray bottles, little picks, and they very gently pick away at hundreds of years of mud and dirt and rocks away from the effigy, statue, whatever. You're little by little excavating the truth of the power of your soul. Little by little excavating the truth of the power of your soul. Call me and I need to tell him I'm on a live, but hang on for a quick second. Just, hang on, okay? Just if I go blank, it's hang on for a quick second. Just, hang on, okay? Just if I go blank, it's the excavation is painful. It doesn't lead to massive results in the beginning. We have been excavating the truth of our soul for centuries, fucking thousands of years. Atlantis, the fall of it was the launch of the complete amnesia that stripped us of our sovereignty. Okay? Very similar to a woman who gains 100 pounds. Okay? She's not going to lose it in one day. It's going to take a year, 9 months, whatever, a concerted, focused effort, and it's going to be fucking painful. She's going to go to bed hungry. Her joints are going to hurt. Headaches, detoxing. There's no difference. We are excavating the bones of our former self to align ourselves to the new phoenix rising out of the ashes. But we need to remember who we were to then align ourselves with the newest version of ourselves. It's important to remember who we were in our full power. And I'm going to tell you something that you're going to think is woohoo, and I'm really sorry that your monkey mind is so limited, but that's the issue that we've all had to deal with, these fucking monkey minds. Okay? We lived in a time when I could say, I want a rocking chair, and there it was. But I want it to be white, and there it was. But I wanted to have sunflowers, and there it was. I'm giving you like very pedestrian examples. I could literally sit at a table that I had made with thought and then put a whole banquet of food on the table. I could also decide not to eat because ultimately eating was just a distraction, an illusion, fun game. When they said he could turn water into wine, that was not a parable. We have always been alchemists. Always. And the minute we showed them that we could do these things, like, for example, levitate. For example, heal a dying, impossible situation. For example, literally capture a flame in our hand. You know, monkey tricks. They would accuse us of being witches, and they would harm us. And fear, and this is something I've learned through my Akashic readings with clients, fear was not something we understood until much later. And once fear was planted in us that could control us, it was like a virus in a computer. Fear is that virus. The idea that as you ascend, it will not be painful is foolish. I actually didn't know the New Age community was pushing that shit. I didn't know it was beating you up and telling you that you were a failure, that if you weren't making $100 million a year, that it was all in your head and that you're the one that's fucking up. It never occurred to me that the New Age community would actually never tell you that we were not after the $100 million. We were never after the Rolex watch. What we wanted ultimately was our sovereignty, our freedom to move wherever we wanted at will and to co-create or create what we wanted at will with no edits, no control, no subjugation, no ripping of our power. And the 3D world has been exactly that. We have been stripped of our entire ability to live in our own way. Do no harm was the only law we needed to adhere to. Do no harm. Oh, who would argue that one? No one would argue that one. Why would I want to harm an animal, a person, the land I'm standing on? Why would I harm the land that is my mother, my grandmother, who nourishes me? And yet, we have lived in a world where the leaders, and I say that with a laugh, I mean, it's a joke, have done exactly that. It would be no different than you walking around taking shits in your living room. And that's exactly what these motherfuckers have done for centuries. And so, Ascension isn't going to make you feel good. Just like fasting on water doesn't make you feel good. You're in fucking bed. You're getting headaches. You're having fucking toxins come out of you. The brainwashing, the reruns, the castigations, the self-loathing comes out of your body during the ascension. It fucking hurts. What you're after is the flame of your sovereign right to live within the infinite glory that was given to you by the one of 1,000 names, the one who created us all, not some Anunnaki god in an old dusty book. That was never us. And the pain back is no different than walking on coals. Remember that? In the 80s, that was a big thing to have people walk barefoot on coals and be so excited. Where are these people? Where the fuck are you people? Why aren't you talking? Ascension is walking on broken glass barefoot. It fucking hurts. I don't know where the New Age... Honestly, I haven't been paying attention to them for so long. I'm dipping back in to see what the fuck's going on because I'm not seeing the kind of intense trajectory of urgency of light beings rise. What I'm seeing is depression. What I'm seeing is despair. What I'm seeing is impotent rage. And I was wondering, what the fuck is going on here? Aren't they reading what I'm reading? Aren't they fucking listening to what I mean, are we not meditating? Are we not on the same page? Did they actually think that this was going to be fun? People that you love will die. They can't come with you. They can't. They're too gentle. Or their contract is done. You're going to fucking be in pain. And your job is to learn how to communicate to them behind the veils. That's your fucking job. That was always your job. Your job is to be in service to yourself, to your soul, to those you are aligned with, and to people you'll never meet. You're not here to fucking wait till you drop your body because you don't want to be here anyway. That is a selfish, egotistical, narcissistic mindset. That is not a match to being released and being in your sovereign power. That is not a match. And that's not to guilt you out. That's common sense. It's common sense. I'm watching people sit on the sidelines waiting to die. I'm in shock. And they call themselves spiritually awake. Oh, I'm so homesick and I'm so hurting and I just don't want to be here anymore. I'm just waiting. I'm 77 or I'm 67 or whatever. However, that was never how it was supposed to be. You were supposed to be in the flame of everything you've ever been that was literally doused by those who were fearful of people like us, the caretakers of this planet, control it once again. Lemuria is your muse, in a sense, but we will never be that naive or that fucking innocent ever again. And thank God for it. And so that's what you need to get to. You need to step into your high priest, high priestess energy. I don't call myself a witch. I would never do that. That's a degradation. Sorry, Wicca. Are you mad? Did I just trigger you? Oh my God, I'm a witch. I'm proud of it. No, you're not. You were a fucking priestess, a high priestess. And they bastardized us down to fucking being witches. That was our amnesia. We forgot all of our power. We remembered very little. It's like saying, I had a PhD, but now I have a high school diploma. Oh, are we celebrating? Are you for real? There are things we need to take back. And you can't do it from apathy. And you can't do it from fucking depression or impotent rage. Those two are not aligned to you excavating yourself. And it's going to fucking hurt. No different than what I've given you examples of how it can hurt. It's unpleasant. It's lonely. It's frightening. You're opening crypts and coffins of old selves that you've been too afraid to go in and look. Go look. We have been things we don't even want to remember. And we have been the most brilliant of light beings. But ascension and manifestation, this is why I tell people, fucking manifest 5D, demand it, take it, own it. Why? Well, because it's your birthright. Because they've been writing about it for centuries. It's not something you have to fucking squeeze your eyes and and squeeze your perineum muscles to make it. You don't have to fart it out. It's something you flow into. It's yours. And all your troubles will be gone. Don't you get it? All your troubles, 5D, I'm there. And you can decide, I want to live in that continent. I want to live in that continent. I want to live in the country. Yes, in 5D. It's always in 5D. Yesterday was the full moon in Capricorn. And I went out with my son and we touched the earth and looked at the moon and called into 5D, claiming it. Knowing it's not a myth, it's not a parable, it's not a fucking fairy tale, and I don't give a shit. It's like, how many movies do you need to see? Like the Matrix that shows you about the Matrix we're in. The Matrix is all the corrupted thought forms and the asinine acceptance of the pedestrian elite. They're really pedestrian in the way they think because they haven't changed the way they think in fucking 3,000 years. And yet we have. We're no longer the fucking peasant class anymore. They've forgotten who we were. We are high priests and high priestesses. And we are in our full power. And it's not something we beg for on our knees, praying for it to a God that never was real. The one of 1,000 names, the one who created us all, is asking us to claim everything we were given. And unfortunately, the damage done, the learning how to walk again. Think of yourself. Think of someone who's been in a car accident and every bone in their bodies, their arms, they were in casts. We were in casts. We were in levers. Our knees, our legs, our shins, our ankles, our thigh bones, gone. And now we're learning how to walk again. We're being assisted by other starseeds. We're being helped. And we're taking one step after another. And it's exhausting to learn how to walk again in our full power. It's exhausting. You're holding onto the rails. I've got your arm under your armpit. Somebody else is holding you up as well. And we're saying, come on, one more step. You got this. Before you know it, you'll be running on a beach in 5D. That's a parable, what I just gave you. But it's a parable of what we're going through. Many of the people in the New Age community are asking for the wrong things. They're asking for things, not consciousness shifts. And when they fail, they're told that their consciousness was fucked up. That's why they weren't able to manifest, whatever, 369 and visualization boards and all that shit. And there's a content creator that was talking about that as well. It never occurred to me that people were holding on to things and not consciousness shifts. The goal, just to give you the recipe, because, it's good to talk about problems, but you better have fucking answers, right? So I'm going to give you the answers. The goal is no longer to be in amnesia. The goal is no longer to struggle with your monkey mind that's beating the shit out of you and telling you to take your own life. The goal is to literally rip the veils of illusion of this false place. Wizard of Oz isn't complete. They gave us clues. Pulling down the curtain and seeing this little small man terrifying and terrorizing people. These genocidal puppets, masters, and monsters don't have any power because our power is infinite and their power is in the matrix. We outrank them in every way, except just like a dog, we've been trained to be a slave. And we are slave to the monkey mind. Your job shouldn't be to want a new job. Your job should be to want 5D, to want the life you want in 5D. and the portals will open and you will have the job you want. That's the irony. Things will be guided to you that will help you on your journey, because now you're asking the right questions and you're asking and visualizing for the right things, because they're all centered around 5D. They're not centered on 3D being successful, having a new Rolex. This is where we've gone wrong. And it never occurred to me. Like, I feel like every time I have to refine the message, essentially I'm telling you the thing again and again. Does that make sense? But I'm refining the message and I feel like I have nothing else to say. And then suddenly I look at something online, I go, holy fuck, I got to do a live, because I'm like, what the fuck? I didn't know people were looping in this new age community where they're literally telling you that if you're sick, if you have the big C, it's your fault. If you lost your job, it's your fault. If you blah, blah, it never occurred to me. That's massively abusive. I don't know where I was. I have to admit, I'm in my own conscious world, and I'm refining and trying to kick the fuck out of my monkey mind, out of my fucking conscious truth. And it never occurred to me. I just went for things that made sense to me. Like deconstructing the reality that I am an infinite soul in a temporary personality. It's almost like somebody gave me a script and I'm playing the role of Tony in this incarnation. It's a role. And truth be told, I've had millions of incarnations. I'm a hell of a good actress. I've done this many, many times. I actually believe in this Tony role. I'm attached to her. I actually believe in the darkness of her and the shadows of her and her lack of confidence in this, that, and the other, but in her fierce confidence in X, Y, and Z. And the truth of it is, it's an illusion. It's a role, a personality based on genetics, DNA, culture, family lineage, education, experience, exposure. Everything influenced what I became. Like you. Exactly like you. And to get to the meat of it is we have to step out of 3D matrix into 5D infinite and just sit in meditation and call on the fire of our truth to be lit and to grow bigger and bigger and bigger. And I'm going to tell you something. They're saying to me, that your auric field will get larger and larger. If your auric field is 3 feet around you, it'll be 20 feet, 20 miles, 100 miles. That's how we tend to topple the system. Because our auric field will touch people we'll never meet. And influence them and catapult them to start asking the right questions. To start desiring the right things. I'll give you an example of something, of holding on to something that you shouldn't hold on to. When I used to work at Psychic Source, women would always say, well, I get Joe. All I want is Joe. That's all I want is Joe. But Joe's fucked up and Joe cheated on you and Joe's a motherfucker. Why would you want Joe? I just love Joe. Only Joe. I can't imagine myself with anyone else but Joe. Did you hear that? I can't imagine anyone else but Joe. A transcendental, multi-dimensional being doesn't want Joe. Do you know what she wants? She wants an incredible partner, tantrically connected to her, funny, loyal, monogamous, loving, intelligent, curious, on the same spiritual path. Fuck Joe. She wants that incredible partner. She doesn't even know. There's an old line that my dad used to say all the time. When one has never seen the sun, the moon is indeed bright. Hell of a line. Hell of a line. Because you have not recalled experiencing 5D does not mean it does not exist, nor does it mean it's not possible. Your monkey mind has convinced you that what you want is impossible. And that is going to be what you need to fucking own. The monkey in your head either owns you like a bitch, or you own it and it serves you. You decide. I can't do it for you. I can do lives. I can try to refine the messages again and again, refining it to a level that ignites something in you, turns something on in you, and you never go back to bullshit. But I can tell you that ascension is painful. When you train to be an athlete, it's painful to train. When you run, and let's say a track star, because I see my son, that's what he does. It's fucking painful. You'll fucking vomit to train to be a champion. I didn't know people didn't connect out with spiritual ascension. It never occurred to me. I would have thought that people understood that ascension is going to be painful because you are training to be a champion. I thought that people understood that ascension is going to be painful because you are training to be a champion. I'll know today. Understand in your own right, infinite, sovereign being. Living where you want, on what planet you want, when you want, how you want, with who you want. You are no longer a slave to your monkey mind. Firstly, above all, monkey mind. It's like the old elephant tied to the little plastic chair. A 2-ton fucking elephant that is afraid to move because first in its mind that plastic chair is a building. That's where we're at. When you and I know that the elephant would fucking rip that chair to fucking pieces and be free. And they train baby elephants on that, by the way. Okay? I saw a young woman make believe she was putting a halter on a horse. There was no halter. And then put her hand underneath his chin as if he was on a halter. And led him around. I'm giving you, I hope, images so you can understand how we've been brainwashed. And so to deconstruct that, to free yourself from that, it's painful. Your muscles are going to hurt. You're going to vomit. You're going to go through, mental pain, sleepless nights, ascension symptoms. Hello, welcome. It's going to be okay. It's worth it. But you are not here to wait, to drop your body and think you've made the steps to ignite yourself out of 3D. Do not drink that Kool-Aid. That is not how it's going to work. You have to recall who you are so that you are not trapped in the cycle. If that makes sense. All right, my loves. I'm going to send you much love. I'll upload this on YouTube. Follow me on YouTube. And much love to you all. You're not alone. You're loved. You have light beings that surround you. You're not my light beings. They're not surrounding you. Your light beings are surrounding you. Okay? Much love. Take care.